Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Samir El-Masri, and on behalf of Digitalization and CertNexus, I would like to present Agentic AI technology and how this new technology will transform and revolutionize business operations. So let's get started. So at the beginning, we would like to understand what is Agentic AI and how different this technology is from generative AI. Generative AI, as you know, has been trained on knowledge, a lot of knowledge, humanity knowledge, and it can create content such as text, audio, video, images. Agentic AI, in addition to generative AI, or can work in collaboration with the generative AI to make decisions. So it can make decision under our supervision and control. So it has autonomous decision-making feature where it can make a decision independently or with a human collaboration if you want. It can learn continuously and improve the decision all the time by communicating with other party internally and externally. It has it is goal-oriented technology. So we set up a goal, we put goal for this technology to achieve. For example, I ask Agentic AI to plan me a trip, to book me a flight, to book hotel for me, look for the best hotel. Let's say I'm traveling to Sydney, book me the best, cheapest, let's say, hotel, 5 star, within 5 kilometers from the Opera House in the CBD of Sydney. And I want the review to be very good. This is one thing they can do. And at the same time, I would like maybe another agent to book me a flight. I put condition, what kind of flight, what kind of class, what is my budget, and when is the time, and look for the best option for me. So this is a goal. It's a goal oriented, and it making decision. It can make the payment if I want, or they give me option and I say, okay, go for this option and go for that option. And this is where we have the multi-agent collaboration. So I can have one agent to do a few things, or I can have multiple agents collaborate together. Each agent will do one job and they can work together. And last but not least, here we have bounded autonomy. So that means it's autonomous, but it's bounded under our control and condition. So it cannot work without our approval or condition. Or we can say, do this goal or go and achieve this goal without our permission, or I want the permission. So to give you approval to go ahead when you select a few options for me. So it's up to us how to design this agentic AI. The evolution of this technology, as you know, evolution of business AI started from rule-based systems such as RPA, robotic process automation, then the basic machine learning to predict some variable, some value for some variable. And as you know, that generative AI, such as ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and DeepSeek, and the latest technology actually started in this year, 2025, that can make a decision for us based on a lot of data collected, based on integrating and with other system, with interface and collecting data and information and knowledge, and also the generative AI as a brain for this technology to also make a decision. So what are the key capabilities of agentic AI? So perception, this is where it can collect interpret processes big amount of data brought from multiple sources, internally, globally, wherever. And also, it has a capability to collaborate with a human being, as we mentioned earlier, with the permission and approval. It has also the reasoning part, and this is where generative AI come in. We can see later our workflow always has a brain, the reasoning, which is a generative AI. And this is also the capability is we can plan, we can develop multi-step strategy uh, for a specific goal we would like to achieve. So we would like to compare here between how it worked before Agentic AI and with Agentic AI. So before Agentic AI, usually we do this decision manually. Uh, we have transfer this decision or information from department to another department. This make the processes very slow and limited use of data. And if we use RPA, we use it uh, like in the RPA. If we compare RPA with agentic AI, RPA need deterministic order. So if I ask RPA to send an email to somebody, we need to tell RPA what do we put inside the body of the email exactly. While in agentic AI, we ask to send an email and we just give instruction what is the purpose or the goal of this email without giving instruction fully about the full body of the email, the text, the email. So, for example, if I ask Agentic AI, send an email to my manager and apologize and say, I will be late by half an hour for our afternoon meeting. So they will draft this email. They can send it immediately, or I can tell, don't send it, draft the email, and then let me approve it. So that's the difference between normal automation done by RPA and agentic automation. Um, so agentic AI can do autonomous, can collaborate with a human, very seamless integration of processes, can do real-time responses, and can do cross-functional as the RPA as well. So it augments the RPA technology with AI, with brain, with reasoning. So the benefit and the strategic benefit of this technology, first, it can create a new business model and enhance the uh, customer experience and the operational efficiency. And those two are the number one and two business value in any business and industry. So it can enhance my competitive advantages. Also, it can give me this efficiency gain by reducing the cost and also fast execution. As a application, industry application, it can be applied to any business, to any industry. For example, supply chain optimization. It can monitor and detect any disruption in the supply chain and adjust automatically to this disruption and make a decision what to do. Also, in predictive maintenance, it doesn't only predict maintenance, but it also schedule maintenance based on the availability of resources, the machine, the equipment, the crew, and so on. In terms of quality control, for example, it can visually inspect uh, some defect, and based on this, it will make a decision what to do. Not only predict or detect it, it also make decision based on the what the finding and the situation we have. So, for example, in financial services, it can detect fraud detection. It can uh, detect any fraud, and it can do something after that. It can notify authorities, stakeholders, and so on. It can also make a decision on our behalf where to invest and when to buy, when to sell shares and stocks and so on. So that will enhance also it enhances also our personalized banking based on my spending a trend based on um, some condition. It will give me some advice what to do and how to improve or how to save and so on. In addition, it can monitor the regulatory compliance, how I comply with the compliance. Am I complying with the compliance or not? And it can stop some process because it has risk not to comply with compliance, or it give advice how to fix this problem and so on. So, for example, in healthcare, I will show you some demo, a real life demo at the end of this presentation. But what it can do for healthcare, it can help healthcare professionals to advise for further diagnosis um, based on the history of this patient, the electronic medical record, the symptoms, current conditions, vital. What do we need to do next in terms of diagnosis? Or maybe it's already diagnosed, this patient, but we need to put a treatment plan. So we need to prescribe some medication or uh, all the element of the treatment plan and management. In addition, it can manage the resources, the healthcare professional, the stock of medication, the schedule of lab and diagnosis, the machine, X-ray, MRI, CT scan, and so on, based on the availability, based on the demand, and the condition. In retail, it can detect the customer inside. It can get customer inside and detects the behavior of customers. So how they shop, what they buy together. So based on this, where to put this item, they make a decision. We have this technology before based on the customer behavior, where to put the item inside the supermarket, but it doesn't make decision on its own. Here, it can make a decision, put this item together, put them in different, where to put, how to optimize, to enhance at the end the personalized experience, the customer experience. And something very important to adjust and optimize the pricing based on the demand, the supply, based on um, the competition. So it automatically can adjust the pricing. And as we mentioned before, inventory management based on the supply chain, based on the supply, based on the demand, based on the number of shops available in the city or country or globally. So we have some references here if you want real world or projection about some stories. For example, in manufacturing giant, we can reduce the production cost by 32%. We can also cut fraud losses by 87% and decrease the delivery time by 56% if we use agentic AI. So In regard to the challenges, what are the challenges we are facing here? The challenges maybe in general similar to the challenges we have for other AI. For example, data quality. As we know, AI is based mainly on data and also on algorithm. So data is our baby. We need to look after this baby. Data quality is super important. If we don't have the quality of this data, our system output will not have quality output. So data management is super critical. Data governance, security, integration, business intelligence. So we need to have this data cleaned, accurate, timeliness, and so on, in order for this technology to work effectively and accurately. The other concern here or challenge we have is the security, especially with agentic AI, because agentic AI by nature need to integrate with many systems and applications through API. So this vast number of interfaces with other systems raise concern about security. So those interfaces need to be secure. We exchange data, we request data, we send information, we get information. So all of this interaction with other systems need to be secure. So this is something we need to look into it closely. So here also, because of it's a new technology and it's a change in the like having a new technology, it's so fast. So we need to train our employees to design, develop, and use this technology. Last but not least, the integration complexity. So as we mentioned, this agentic AI need to integrate with many applications based on the goals we have for this workflow. So this workflow need or this agent need to interact with specific application. So the challenge is here. Some application they don't have, they cannot provide API or they cannot have this modern integration tools and protocol such as API. So in case we have legacy system, for example, in this part we need to use deterministic automation such as RPA to maybe scrap some data from some application without API. Ethical consideration, as any other AI system, we need the system to be transparent, how it was trained, what are the limitations, whether it is biased when we train the system, how we can avoid bias, how we can set up accountability, who's accountable, especially today, because it's emerging technology, we need a human at the end to approve, so they will be accountable. Yeah, and yeah, that's it about ethical consideration. So we need some governance framework. We want this to be explainable, like any AI algorithm. We want to manage the risk properly and mitigate the risk and human oversight, as we mentioned before. And we want to have maybe this monitoring through dashboard how our agent is working, are working, and what the output, what happened, and so on. So this is important to have continuous monitoring. The implementation roadmap, we use three phases. Phase number one, we assess the process and analyze the process we need to implement agentic AI and replace manual or the current process with agentic AI workflow. Second, do we have the data ready? Do we have the data cleaned and quality data, as we mentioned earlier? And what is the return on investment to if we implement this? So can we reduce the cost? Can we improve the quality? Can we make it faster? What can we do with this? Once we're done with this and all okay, we move to a pilot. So we just build one in control environment, and we look at the result, the performance and benchmark, and we collect a lot of feedback from the users to help us improve. The last phase where we implement really and in unreal operation and integrate with a lot of system as we need to uh, and trained our staff and employees on this new technology, how to design, how to develop, and how to use. So the workflow force will be transformed. And with a lot of study, we could get some number. So, for example, the job evolution will be 50% of job will evolve and be augmented and redefined rather than eliminated. To be honest, some job will be eliminated, whether we like it or not. And some job will be augmented. Some job will be redefined. So this is the impact of this technology on workforce. The productivity will be increased, of course, times four, where we can gain productivity with the same resources. So the efficiency will be increased and enhanced. The future business landscape, we believe, so this will enhance the ecosystem intelligence where it can collaborate across function, department, uh, companies, organization, locally, regionally, globally. So the collaboration is key with this technology. It will augment decision making with the human and multiple system, and the evolution workforce, as we mentioned before. And we want the technology and agentic technology to look after the routine cognitive task and free a human being and leaders and let them focus on strategic issue and creativity and innovation. So the key takeaways for today is this technology, it will present fundamental shift in business operation. And we need to have this balance when we implement this technology between technical and ethics, the technical consideration and the ethics. and collaborate with a human being. So it's not the machine itself, but under the supervision, under the control, under the approval of a human being, oversight uh, all the operation of this, oversee all the operation of this new technology, and make sure it's working properly with the right mechanism and framework. Final message: we need to act now, because as we know, the early adopters will gain significant competitive advantage. So, ladies and gentlemen, my last bit is to present to you a real life system I developed myself, and I will show you how it works. So here we go. Let me show you all the elements. So here we go. We have different system here working together. Okay, so I have this platform called N8N. This is where we can design and develop workflow, agentic AI workflow. And here we have also another system to let me communicate by audio. Okay. It's called 11 Lab and also Lovable. We have also here Excel sheet or Google Sheet. So let me explain briefly what's going on here. So this node, it make me communicate by audio. So always we need a trigger for this workflow. So this is a trigger when I communicate with agent by messaging, texting, or by speaking. So here we go, and this is the agent. This is the agent. I call it Hakim. Hakim. So this Hakim is the doctor, physician. So this is a physician. I will talk to this medical advisor robot, I call it. So this is my medical advisor robot. I am physician, and I will take advice from this agent on my patient, what to do, because it's very difficult for me. I have a couple of patients here, as you could see. The problem with those patients is I cannot check all their health record. It's difficult for me to check the electronic health record on my own, and to capture everything, their issues, their problem, their history, their symptom, their vitals, and the massive electronic health record, very difficult for me as a human physician. So I would like to create an agent to help me and advise me on further diagnosis or put the treatment plan. So you can see live how it works. So you can see here, my agent, it has reasoning. So this is the agentic AI communicating now with generative AI. This is like the ChatGPT, and also communicate with email because it need to send email. And this is will respond to me. This technology, like I talk, and this is will talk back to me after doing some work. And here I want to read from this Google Sheet. So I want my agent to go and check, let's say, specific record of my patient. It's just a demo example, just showing example here. And the agent will provide me with advice on those patients and will update the record, the summary and the record for some with recommendation after my approval, and notify the patient by email. So let me show you live how it works. Okay, so here we go. I will start communicating with the agent live.
Assalamu alaikum. How can I help you?
Hi, Hakeem. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Professor El-Masri. How may I assist you today?
Hakeem, I want you to help me with my patient today and go
Of course,
through.
Professor El-Masri.
Yeah, I want you to go through the patients one by one and tell me about their condition and what do you recommend. And I want you to.
Understood, Professor El-Masri. Understood, Professor El-Masri. To best assist you, could you please specify which patient you would like to begin with? Also, do you have any specific concerns or areas you'd like me to focus on for each patient?
Okay, Hakeem, I want you to go through the patient one by one. We start with the first patient. Check the record of this patient, and then just provide me with recommendation.
Certainly, Professor El-Masri. Please allow me a moment to review the first patient's record and provide you with my recommendations. What is the full name of the first patient or their medical identification number?
I think you can see the first patient on the list is John Miller. So go through the record and check John Miller condition and history and symptom, and provide me with recommendation, please.
Thank you, Professor El-Masri. John Miller, a 55-year-old male, presents with chest pain and shortness of breath. His vitals are blood pressure 145/95, heart rate 98, temperature 36.9 degrees Celsius. His medical history includes hypertension, and he is a smoker. I suggest urgent evaluation for possible acute coronary syndrome. Consider ECG, cardiac biomarkers, and possibly a referral to cardiology. Further diagnosis is necessary before treatment. Would you like me to log this recommendation and notify the patient?
Hakeem, good job. I can see your recommendation, and I think you did a good job. I want you to just log in the recommendation and notify the patient by email.
I've logged the recommendation for John Miller and sent a notification email to the patient. Is there anything else regarding Mr. Miller that I can assist with at the moment, Professor El-Masri?
So for John Miller, we're done. I think we want to move to the second patient on the list, please.
Understood, Professor El-Masri. Let's proceed to the second patient. Please provide the name or medical identification number of the second patient so I can access their records and provide you with my recommendations.
Okay, to double check, second patient on the list is Sarah Thomas. I think you can see her name.
Sarah Thomas, a 34-year-old female, presents with fatigue and weight gain. Her vitals are blood pressure 110/70, heart rate 72, and temperature 36.6 degrees Celsius. Her medical history indicates hypothyroidism. I suggest reviewing current thyroid function tests and adjusting levothyroxine dose if necessary. Repeating TSH in 6 weeks is advisable. This case seems ready for treatment adjustment concerning thyroid hormone replacement without further immediate diagnostics unless new symptoms arise. Would you like me to log this recommendation and notify the patient, Professor El-Masri?
Perfect. Log in this recommendation and notify the patient by email, please.
I've logged the recommendation for Sarah Thomas and sent a notification email to the patient. Is there anything else I can help you with regarding Ms. Thomas, Professor El-Masri?
I think we're done with our patient for the day. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your help.
Happy to assist you with your patients today, Professor El-Masri. Feel free to reach out if you have any further questions in the future.
My last question,
Assalamu alaikum. How can I help you?
Hi, Hakeem. I think we need to, I want to ask you a question about all these recommendations you provided to me for my patient. It's all those recommendations are based on what? What kind of a clinical practice guideline you are based or you are using to provide those recommendations?
Professor El-Masri, to ensure I address your question accurately, could you please clarify which patient and which specific recommendations you're referring to? This will allow me to provide you with the relevant clinical practice guidelines that informed those recommendations.
I think because some issue happened now. Yeah, I Hakeem, I want to ask you if you give me an advice now, medical advice for my patient, what kind of clinical practice guideline are you going to use?
To provide you with the most relevant and helpful advice, I need some information about your patient. Could you please tell me about their condition, symptoms, and any relevant medical history? This will allow me to align my recommendations with the appropriate clinical practice guidelines.
It's okay. Thank you very much, Hakeem, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.
You're welcome, Professor El-Masri. I'm here whenever you need assistance.
Okay, so what happened, Hakeem, the system, they just hang up before because he or she understood that we are done. So they start from the beginning. So this just was a demo. So they use the latest uh, clinical practice guideline from US, like or from UK, and I can control where they get their knowledge from. So I can um, program this agentic AI to use, um, for example, American Clinical Practice Guideline or British Clinical Practice Guideline or Australian or whatever. So this will be fully under my control. At the end, thank you very much for your attention. And this is just the beginning. We are involved in developing a lot of business workflow for all industry, healthcare, education, retails, and so on. Thank you very much for your attention and wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Bye bye.